what's up everyone? Guess what? It's Saturday night. I just happened to be in the neighborhood and I thought, why not? Let's do an episode of Old Head Bangers Ball. Not entirely true. We're here for a celebration, folks. For those of you who've been watching since the beginning, you may not realize that we are coming up on an anniversary. On June 6th, 2022, it will be 2 years since the first episode of Old Head Bangers Ball. Been doing this for 2 years. I realize I've been doing it less frequently than I was before, but it's still a show that survived, that I started. There's a lot of shows I've done over my 3+ years of doing the Old Head channel that have just kind of been discarded and I got bored of or nobody cared about. But this is one that people still ask about. And I've been very vocal about how time-consuming it is putting it together and annoying it is having to deal with copyright issues and what songs are going to be blocked by YouTube and what aren't, and also the weirdness of like songs I even like wanted to play tonight, they blocked them, but then I go and find 5 or 6 people who have like 1 million subscribers who they can use the song however the fuck they want. So one day. But anyway, we're not here to gripe. We're here to celebrate and rejoice the 2-year anniversary of Old Head Bangers Ball. And to do that, I've brought for you a giant-sized edition of Old Head Bangers Ball. For some of you might remember back in the day, sometimes they'd have comic book issues. They were giant-sized issues, and they would be like literally like 2-3 times the size of a normal issue. So this is going to be like that. Probably not as good. The artwork is going to be awful. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Gonna have some extra videos for you tonight just to celebrate. So we're gonna be kind of all over the place with as we usually are, I guess. But I can say that every single video tonight that I'm going to be playing was played originally on the original Headbangers Ball back in the day, in the classic era. The first one from 1987, the very first year of Headbangers Ball, back when there wasn't even really a host. I don't think Adam Curry became a host till 88. There was just all sorts of like guest hosts and stuff in 87. And this is a group that I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been like, why hasn't he played this group yet? And I'm taking care of this today. Because we needed an anthem to start this thing off. I want everybody to sing along, fists in the air, the whole entire show. Even if you don't know it, I want them to be songs that maybe you can get into and have a great time. That's what this show is all about. So what better way to start that than with a huge-ass fucking anthem? And it comes from this album, Triumph and Agony by Warlock, the third, I think, and final album from Warlock before Doro Pesch went solo. I don't think that was her choice. I think that there was a weird legal battle with the name Warlock, but doesn't matter. We're not talking about those kind of things tonight. We're going to be talking about how fucking anthemic this song is. And yes, the song, those of you who know the group and know the album, you know what I'm talking about. The song is All We Are, and it's a banger. So let's just fucking jump right into it. Let's get this celebration started with Warlock, All We Are.
All we are, all we are, we are all we need.
All we are, all we are, we are all we need.
There's beauty in the heart of the beast, fear behind the eyes of the thief. I know you know we're all incomplete. Let's get together and let's get some relief.
All we are, all we are, we are all we need. All we are, all we are, we are all we need.
All right, so action shot. I love those pauses. At this point, I think the entire band are Americans. Like they were a German band, and then I think at this point everybody had been replaced with Americans except for Doro. I don't know enough about them to know why. Yeah, See what I'm saying? This has got some energy to it and some power, and just that good old 80s rock energy. Like, and this is the short version of the video. I think if I remember right, in the full version of the video, there's like a big old traffic jam or something, so that's why they're playing on a street on top of a bus or whatever. I mean, it's a thin, it's a thin description, because it's like one of those. Back in the day, you didn't need a whole lot in a music video. It's just like, what is this video about? Well, they're at a school and people are bored, and then a band starts playing, everything goes crazy. That's all you need. All you need. Let's jump back in.
Stronger than the mountain of steel, faster than hell on wheels. We've got all the power we need. Let's burn the flame on this all battlefield.
All we are, all we are, we are all we need. All we are, all we are, we are all we need.
Now we're stronger, we no longer want you bringing us down. We've got the magic, so we're gonna spread the magic around. Yeah! Now we're stronger, we no longer want you pushing us. All we are.
Pause it for a second. Did she jumped on she was on a car and it exploded, and then all this, whatever. Confession, I'm not really a Doro Pesh fan. I know a lot of people are. I like this song, and this album's pretty good, but that's kind of as far as it goes. I've never found my way into this band or anything she's done, but it's not bad. But I do like this song. This one has like some memories for me though, because I remember in the 80s, may have even been 1987, I wasn't watching Headbangers Ball. I was watching Night Flight on the USA Network. And before, there was like supposed to be, I think, like a kung fu movie that I was going to watch. And before it started, they randomly just played this video. And I remember I had a video cassette with, I don't remember what the fucking movie was. I think it might have been some random Bruce Lee one. I don't know. Who knows? And then this video played. And I just remember that's when I was like getting into like rock music. And I was like, well, this song's pretty fucking cool. So it's got a history with me. All right, let's finish it up.
All we are, we are all we need.
All we are, all we are, we are all we need. All we are, all we are, we are all we need. All we are, all we are, we are
Are the butt shots really necessary? I know a lot of you are saying yes, they are. But it's like, I would be kind of annoyed if I was the rest of the members of the band. It's like, what about my butt? Where's all my butt shots? God, I wore these tight pants for nothing.
all we need. All we are, we are all we need. All we are, we are all we need. All we are.
There was one of those around the back guitar moves that I always scare the crap out of me, because I'm just like, that it's gonna fly off and hit somebody. It's happened a lot. Or hits your singer in the face, and hit poor old Doro went right in her fucking. For some reason my brain was like, I'm gonna search for the German word for face. No, I don't even know why. I know Achtung, and I only know that word because it was the title of a U2 album. So fuck, that's all I know. Okay, let's finish this up. All right, well, that was the end of All We Are. That was, whatever. I could have just shut my mouth until the end of the song, but there you go. Warlock with All We Are, starting us off in the 1980s, where, it's appropriate. Headbangers Ball started in 87. Our show starts in 87. But we're not staying there. We're moving into the future. Let's do this. All right, now in my continued love of sharing with you things that you may not have heard before, we are going to be moving to 1993 and a band that released, I think, just this one album and didn't really make much of a blip. But somebody from the band would later make a blip. We are going to be watching it's a word, look it up, a music video from this album, What's in Your Mouth by Strip Mind. And so, yeah, these guys, well, I guess technically they kind of have two albums, because prior to this, the band was called Seka, S-E-K-A, which was the same name as a porn star of the time, and apparently there was litigation in the works. So they changed their name, and their drummer, it's very important, the drummer on this particular album is one Sully Erna. And for those of you who have really good taste in music, you don't know who he is. I'm just playing, folks. He is the lead singer of the band Godsmack. So apparently he went on to do better. But he's the drummer here. And the video we're going to be watching tonight is for the song Bastard. And the thing I love about this band and a lot of stuff from this era of music, 92, 93, 94, is that bands, because this is on Reprise Records, it's a major label, but this band doesn't necessarily like fit in any one place, because there's a thrash element to it, a groove element to it. They kind of, and in 1993, the whole presentation doesn't seem like anything that was super popular and selling a lot of records. So I just like the fact that they were signed and this existed, because it's a pretty good song, pretty good album too. So let's go ahead and jump in to Bastard. Another really great pause. Thank you, Stephen. You're welcome. So yeah, there you go. Sully Erna, much better drummer than vocalist, in my opinion. So, but you see what I mean? Like, this is like, it could appeal to thrash fans, but also fans of a lot of other things. And but at the same time, fans of not really a lot of things. You see, it's weird. And the whole album's kind of like this. If you're into this, you'll like the whole album. But it's clear why it wasn't huge, but it's definitely enjoyable. But it's weird. It's an oddity of the time for me. It's not super weird, but you know what I'm saying? Come on, yeah, all right. I mean, that's sweet right there. Why is Sully not play drums anymore? I mean, he's locked into a really fucking good groove there. Everybody is, man. That's It's tasty, feels good.
My sinner, my savior, my holy grail. Have you seen worthy to meet me face to face? Maybe it's yes, maybe it's no, it's just too damn bad. You just blew that chance to laugh, chance that you had. Chance you had. Master me, I'm always wrong. Chastise me for taking it long. Monster me, I'm always wrong. I'm a bastard. Bastard me, I'm always wrong. Chastise me for taking it long. Monster me, I'm always wrong. I'm a bastard. Cyanide. Not so.
Something's about to happen. Not a lot to say. I'm pausing it again because that's what I do. And that's the thing about playing something like this, is that I want to share it with you, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot of things I can say about it. It's some shirtless dudes playing some metal, and it's pretty good. So let's wrap it up.
Bastard me, I'm always wrong. Chastise me for taking it long. Monster me, I'm always wrong. I'm a bastard. Bastard me, I'm always wrong. Chastise me for taking it long. Monster me, I'm always wrong. I'm a bastard. Cyanide. Not so.
The only real problem with doing this through YouTube, well, one of many problems about doing this with videos on YouTube, is that occasionally those little things pop up. Like, hey, you like this metal, maybe you would like Ed Sheeran. Okay, moving on. All right, now we're traveling 1 year forward to 1994 for another oddity of the 90s. We are going to be watching a music video from this album right here, Bug Harvest, by the Portland band Sweaty Nipples. That's not the best name in the world, but this is the name that we're stuck with this band. This is their second of 3 albums, and it was actually on Megaforce Records. This is not, I wouldn't call this metal at all. I guess, you know, all those labels, I guess, around 94 were like snatching up things that weren't necessarily metal. But this is great. Like, I really like this song. This band's pretty cool, but they're just like Strip Mine. They're a band that has elements of things, but they're not really like tied to one specific thing. You can't point them and go, that's grunge, that's groove, that's metal, or whatever. It doesn't really have, to me, it doesn't. It just, I guess it would, the blanket term alternative would be on top of it. But yeah, the song we're going to be watching is called, what is it called? It's called Demon Juice. And yeah, not a lot to say about this band either, except for they're very interesting, and it's another one of those, have you heard this? Because it's pretty cool. So here you go, Demon Juice by Sweaty Nipples. already a solo. See what I mean? Like, this doesn't really, it's hard to categorize, but that's another reason why I loved this era of music, the early, almost to mid 90s, because shit like this was happening and being embraced by record labels and the public. Well, you know, not as much as other things, but I just love that. You don't hear a lot of music that sounds like this anymore. At least I don't. And I search a lot on the internet for music and listen to new stuff all the time. And most of the time, it's pretty dull. And this isn't amazing, but it's got an energy to it that I think could only happen in 1994. So that's why I dig this. Let's jump into this, whatever this solo is going to be. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the very few ways to my heart. Give me a little bendy. Give me a bendy in there. Love some bendies. See, and another thing that keeps this from falling into some sort of category, because people would listen to this and go, oh, it's clearly alternative rock or grunge or whatever, but there's a wheedly solo going on in it. I love this. I want to start a band like this. Who's with me? All right, well, we'll keep in touch. Awesome. Sweaty Nipples. Not a fan of that band name at all, but it's a great song. That album's good. I actually haven't heard the other two albums they did. Now I'm thinking I need to do something about that. So yeah, we're not done, folks. We still got a couple videos to go. All right, folks, it's sing-along time. As I usually try to do sometime in an episode, I like to give you what I call an earworm, a song that will be in your head for days and days after. If you've never heard this song before, you're welcome. But a lot of you probably have already heard this song before. But this is definitely an earworm, one that will be in my head. I hear it once and I'm thinking about it for weeks. The song is from this album, Scum Dogs of the Universe by Gwar. Which is the second Gwar album, released in 1990. And at that point, I think the band, the second album, they already had a lineup change. They had a lot of lineup changes. But this was the one, I think, when they finally started to get a lot of attention. It was on Metal Blade Records. A lot of their shit was on Metal Blade Records. And the song we're going to be watching is, of course, Sick of You. So everybody, get ready, get your throat warmed up, me, because we're all going to be singing along to this. Even you and you over there, all of you. So let's fucking do this. All right, ready? Finally get some Guar on this show. Sick of You. See what I'm saying? If you haven't heard this song before, I mean, come on, go ahead and put it in your workout playlist. Yeah, Guar, great band. It's kind of weird though, because Guar, I think they're putting out an album, or actually when this comes out, I think the album will have come out yesterday. And it features like nobody of the original band, because unfortunately Dave Brockie passed away a few years ago. But it does still include the drummer and one of the guitarists from this album. So they've been there at least that long. But it's weird. I'm going to give it a listen. Maybe I have by this point. I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe I'll review it for Old Bollocks, another show that you should be watching. Let's jump back into this fucking classic.
Why don't you don't know what to do? And just your luck, you really suck, and so I'm sick of you. Say, I'm so sick, so sick of you. Say, I'm so sick, so sick of you. Bring it down. I said bring it down. Thank you.
I just thought it would be a good place to pause. I don't have anything to say. Thank you so much for being here. Is everybody singing? There's going to be a big chorus at the end here. If you haven't sang yet, there's still time. You can still live your fucking life, people.
Do it.
Don't you know? So sick of you. Things you say, things you do. Don't you know? So sick of you. Things you say, things you do. So don't you know? I am so sick of you. Things you say, and all the things you do. So don't you know? I am so sick of you. The things you say, and all the things you do.
Don't you know that I'm sick of you? The other things you say and the things you do. Said, don't you know I'm so sick of you? The other things you say and everything that you do. Say, you're so sick of you. I'm so sick of you. Say, you're so sick of you. You're such a sick of you. I'm sick of you. Human filth.
That was a lot of fun, right, folks? Doesn't it feel good? Didn't it feel good? All right, hold on, another one of these. All right, if you're watching this on Saturday night, what are you drinking? Put it in the chat. Although a lot of you probably in another part of the world, you're like, bitch, it's breakfast. So yeah, orange juice, milk, coffee, tea. What you got? All right, let's move on. We have one more video. I'm not done yet. We have one more video for the celebration. Let's do it. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up in the year 1994 again with one it's a special song and video for multiple reasons. It's a personal favorite of mine. It's an album and song that I have loved since it came out in 1994. It's an album that most people do not know. And it's also special because before there was a first episode of Old Headbangers Ball, there was a first episode of Old Headbangers Ball. Some of you might not know what I'm talking about. I did like a completely different version of this when I was back in my old apartment in Austin, Texas. And it was just me acting like a VJ. In fact, my name was Sticky Stackman. And I just literally just introduced the video. It's like, here is a video from so-and-so. And then the video played. There wasn't me acting like a jerk off and talking all the time. And this video was on that. So I thought perfect for the celebration. And also, this band very recently got back together, did some reunion shows. And I think they might even be working on new music, which is weird because they literally did one album, disappeared off the face of the earth. And I've loved it ever since, and I'm just so glad that they're back. The band, Stompbox, the album, Stress. This album is so fucking good. Do you like Helmet? Do you like things Helmet adjacent? Do you like a good groove? Do you like that sort of locked in fucking groove shit where the drums and the bass and the guitars are all so fucking tight that you're just like, oh my God. That's what this album is. So the song we're going to be watching, it's the only music video they made for this album, or professional one anyway, which was on a major label. I believe it was on Sony. And it's for the song No Woods. And fun fact, once the song kicks in, you're going to hear a riff. And some of you might go, I've heard that riff before. And it's because there's a band that I'm going to say they ripped it off. It's too close. They ripped it off for a very popular song 10 years later, maybe not 10, 8 years later. So keep an eye out for that because I'm still mad. Still mad. Anyway, let's wrap this show up. It's been fun, right? Let's wrap this show up with Stompbox and No Woods.
She's got them and gold, picked up to mention. What good is that girl? What feel you? Show your love and gold. What gives up and gold? No one is that girl. What feeling no?
Yeah! I love it when I nail it. Did anybody recognize that riff? Oh, wow! I can't even do it. Let me try it again. Oh, wow! That's not good at all. Nobody can do it except for that dude. It's not a bad song, but, and I don't know if it's a blatant rip off. Oh my God, did I coin another term? Riff off. Oh my God. Great night, folks. Riff off. Where was I? I don't know if it was blatant or if it's one of those things where you hear a riff and then years later you're writing a song and you go, I don't know where that came from, but you know, and it could be that. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's too fucking close. This song fucking rules. Let's jump back into it.
Why should all this end? Why do I
Oh, I forgot this was the edited version of the song. He normally says, "You don't know shit" right there. Fucking MTV.
What do you listen? You know I'm bubble. What do I put up? I'm feeling this.
Love that. I wish we could go back to that. There's a point in the video where it shows, I think it's the bass player, and he's like, it's a very goofy face for such a fucking heavy song. I swear, I've heard that song 1,000 times probably since 1994. I love that song, that album. It's just so fucking good. So if you don't own it, I think it's on streaming services. Go find it. Yeah, look out for the band. Maybe they've got new stuff coming out. I don't fucking know. They posted some stuff, did some reunion shows, and then went kind of quiet. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them for an interview. I'm trying. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Stomp Box with Stress. Love that song. Perfect wrap up for this celebration of the 2-year anniversary of Old Head Bangers Ball. Yeah, just do the things you normally do. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for joining me. If you're here Saturday night live chatting with me on the YouTubes, thank you for being here. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed this show. Share it with people. Share all my shit so I get more subscribers, and then maybe eventually I'll be able to play like whatever video I want. If that ever becomes the case, I will do one of these at least once a month, because that would be way more fun. I have a huge ass list of songs. I'm like, and I can't do them. So thank you for joining me for this whatever this was. It's been fun. I hope you have a good night or good weekend or whatever time of day it is, or wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope it's great. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again very soon. Good night.